Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Crystal. If you don't know who I am, if you do, welcome back. And this morning I'm going to walk you through a full makeup routine. Okay, now you've watched me go through some of the seasonal stuff with you. And so today we're going to be using the colors that are best for me, and I'm going to teach you how to use a couple of different colors and what that looks like. And we're going to start from tip to tail, start to finish, all of the things that I do every single day when I put on my makeup. Okay, so we are going to start first with our foundation, primer, sunscreen, broad spectrum, SPF 15. Now you guys, this is actually approved for adults and children 6 months of age and older. You guys, this can be used as an SPF on your 6-month-old. And so SPF 15, the directions are on the back. This is liquid gold. This is something that I tell everybody, even when I'm not putting on makeup, I still like to put this on at the end of my skincare routine. And you can see that my skin is looking pretty glowy. We're looking good, right? And so I'm going to go ahead. I'm actually going to attempt to find my mirror. There it is. Okay. I just want to make sure I have my mirror so that there are some things that I got to do up close. All right. So we're going to take this. This is, I'll put it on the back of my hand first. So this is just a small gel, and it's going to dry to a powder soft finish. And so I'm just going to take one of my fingers and I'm just going to start applying. And this primer is basically going to kind of fill in the ridges and the larger pores to give you a smoother foundation to put your actual foundation on. Okay, you don't need a ton, but you're going to notice that this is going to mattify your face. Okay, and this is going to dry really, really soft. Okay. All right, so once that's on, I'm going to give that a second just to sit. It's really soft. It's really smooth. You guys, it feels amazing. So like it's a comfort thing. Like it just feels good. And then from there, we're going to move on to a couple of pieces that I'm actually not going to use on myself, but I want to talk about them. And that is our under eye corrector, which you would apply with a cream color brush. Okay, and you would apply that under your eye here and here, and you would feather that out, and that's going to take care of any dark circles, bags, sags, all of that. And then we also have our multi-benefit concealer that you would use to cover up any blemishes or spots that you want to neutralize. Okay, and so I'm going to show you a little bit of a difference here in the coloration of these, because it does make a difference. If you're saying, why can't I switch them out? I'm going to show you why. Okay. That didn't go on. Come on. Okay, well, you're going to get the gist of it. I smudged it when I put it on. Okay. Smudged it all over myself. All right. So here we go. This is the under eye corrector, which is going to have more of a peach tone, which is going to help neutralize those purple circles under your eyes. And then this one here is our multi-benefit concealer, which is more of a like a golden yellow undertone to cover up any of the red splotches on you. And I'm just gonna step over here and grab a cloth. Okay. So next up is, for me, is our Matte 3D foundation. These foundations also come in luminous. So if you are super, super dry skin, you're going to want to use the luminous. If you're using the matte, you might have some oily skin, or you just want the matte finish. Some people like a matte finish. Some people like that dewy, glowy finish. Okay. Now this is suitable for sensitive skin. And I'm going to tell you that this also, you guys, has some blue light blocker in it. And we talked a little bit about that with our skincare. Some of our products have a blue light blocker. If you are on a screen, hi, that's me, a lot. that blue light from your screens can actually age your skin. And so this is an anti-aging foundation as well. Okay, so I'm going to pop some of this on the back of my hand. And then we are going to use a liquid foundation brush. Okay, we went through the brush clinic the other day, and this is one of those brushes. And so I'm just gonna slightly dip this in, and we're gonna start up here. And I'm just going to work this, feather this out and across my face. Okay, now if some of you are saying that looks really light for your skin, I want you to understand that we are matching your foundation right here along your jawline to match your neck, because my face can sometimes be a little more red and a little darker than my actual rest of my body. And so that's what we're looking for when we want to find a perfect match for you. Okay. I'm going to use my handy dandy mirror here. And then I'm also going to blend it down my neck as well. And I'm also going to take it across my eyelids so that my eyeshadow actually has something to stick to. Okay. Now, what I will tell you is once you're done, you want to make sure that you're coming in downward strokes. Once I have my foundation on, I do this. And the reason is because, y'all, we all have peach fuzz, okay? And you want to make sure that that is laying down rather than sticking up, okay? So now that my foundation is on, a lot of people like to do their eye makeup prior. I don't. It's just a me thing. So there's no right or wrong way to do your makeup or the order that you do your makeup in. This is just how I do it. And so I'm going to follow that up with some Silky setting powder. And I love this because it has a blurring effect. And I'm going to use an all over powder brush. And I'm just going to go in small circular motions. This is going to set your foundation. And if you're somebody like me who does not like a lot of shine, I know I'm probably not the norm, but I don't like that shine. I like my face to be mattified, and you can see that that does that. Okay. So after I do that, I'm going to start in on my eyes. So I'm going to use 3 colors that are designed for my green eyes as a cool summer skin tone. And that is going to be Blossom, Candlelight, and Golden Mauve. Okay, these are my everyday go-to, wear this all the time colors. Now I know the trends are a little different right now, but if you're looking for a classic look, this is how I would apply my makeup every single day. So I'm going to go ahead and grab an all over eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to apply that Blossom from the base of my brow all the way to my lash line. Okay, that Blossom is going everywhere. This is going to be the lightest color in your palette. And we have, for the cool girls, we have Blossom, and for our warm girls and warm friends, we have Biscotti. So there are swaps for this. And if you need more information, please reach out to me. I would love to get with you one-on-one. We can pop on a Zoom call and we can just really dive into your specific colors. Okay, so next I'm going to use an eye crease brush, and I'm going to go into this Golden Mauve. Okay. And I'm going to take this up and into my crease. Okay, notice I started in the corner of my eye, because wherever you put your brush down, that is where the most concentrated color is going to be. Don't worry about being it doesn't matter how messy it is, and I'll tell you why here in a second, okay? So we're gonna pull that up. If you have a hooded eye, your location of this particular eyeshadow is gonna be a little different. You're gonna come up a little further up onto your brow bone to create that crease and to create the look of getting an eyelid in there, okay? I'm gonna grab one more color. I'm actually gonna finish up with an espresso, which is this dark brown right here, okay? All right, so then next I'm gonna just grab another all over eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna dip into the Candlelight here, this second mid color, and that's just gonna go on my lid from the corner out. It's just a really light color, and I just like to have that right there just to give it a little bit of pop. Then I'm going to take a eye blending brush, which is this big fluffy brush, and that's where I'm going to go into the espresso, which is this dark brown right here, okay? And then I'm just going to put this in the corner in almost a V shape. Not doing too bad without using a mirror, you guys. Okay, so it's kind of messy. It doesn't look quite right yet, and that's okay. So I'm gonna grab my all over eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to take off anything that's underneath there, okay? And then if you notice, I'm coming up and I'm lifting, so any eyeshadow is gonna look lifted in the corners of my eyes. That's an anti-aging thing, okay? All right, so I'm going to go back to that original brush that I was using, the all over eyeshadow in with the Blossom. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blend the lines. I didn't put any more eyeshadow on this. I'm just blending lines. Can you see how much better that looks? I don't like lines. Okay. So that looks way more blended and way more classy, okay? All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and use some brown waterproof eyeliner, and if you want a really thin line, there is a pencil sharpener in the back of our eyeliners, okay? Now, I'm just gonna put a thin line right at my lash line. And then I'm gonna come just a little bit in underneath, okay? Now, I want you to look at my eye. See how much bigger this one looks now and open and wide? I'm gonna explain that to you here in just a second. Some of you may have to anchor your eye. The only thing that I will tell you about anchoring your eye when you're putting your eyeliner on is don't pull, just anchor, okay? You don't want to pull because that can stretch your eyelid, and once you put your eyeliner on, when you let it go, your eyeliner is going to do this, okay? So you don't want to do that. Now, the idea of eyeliner is to actually make you look more awake, alert, alive, and enthusiastic. And so what you don't want to do is you don't want to line heavily on the bottom and not the top, okay? You also want to stay out of your waterline in here because makeup is designed to be on your face, not in your face, okay? You don't want to put that into your eyes. That can cause problems. You can clog your tear ducts. You can cause eye issues. You can get makeup in your eyes, which is not fun. You can cause some damage, okay? And so we just want to keep that on the outside. So, my friends, if you are heavily lining on your bottom, but you're not putting anything on your top, I would encourage you to try it on the top because you might be surprised. Instead of looking heavy and tired and making your eyes look smaller, this is going to brighten your eyes up and make them look bigger, okay? All right. So from there, we're going to work into our mascara. And I'm going to use our Ultimate Mascara in black. I love this mascara. Now, there's a couple of tricks for the mascara. First off, it is only good for 3 months. I don't care if you're only using it 3 times in that 3-month period. Once this is opened, 3 months. That's it. It needs to be tossed. This is dark, it is damp, and every time you touch your eyes and put it back into the tube, you're introducing bacteria into the tube, which means you're causing a lot of bacteria inside of here, which can cause problems. Every time you pull the wand out and put it back in, you're introducing air into the tube, which dries it out. If you are getting any flaking of your mascara, it's time to get a new one, my friends, okay? All right, so the next tip is when you're putting your mascara on, you want to swirl, not pump. When you're pumping, you're putting extra air, which means you're not even going to get 3 months out of that tube, okay? So the first layer of mascara is just to get the product onto your lashes. So you're just wiggling and getting it on there, okay? So sorry if you can hear that. That's my mother-in-law yelling at my dogs. Okay, so I'm gonna wiggle this on. I'm gonna wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then the second coat is where the magic happens. This is where you're going to apply and shape and direct, okay? Now, a lot of people claim that 3 coats is where it's at. I like to do 2, and then I put a little bit on the bottom. I like to do 2 because I don't like to get like the super like spidery lashes. So we're just gonna work our way through here. And a little bit on the bottom. Okay, so you can see that that is my mascara. That is what I like to use. Now, the next step for me is going to be my brows. We are going to use, as soon as I find it, we have a Precision Brow Liner. So we have a Precision Brow Liner, and I'm going to use Brunette if that helps any of you with coloration or figuring out what color is best for you. Now, the idea of brows is not to draw them on, it's to make them look natural. And so this is a very thin pencil, and it is a twist up. And so we are just going to hit the brow in the way that your hair grows, okay? And it is literally just gonna fill in the empty spots. We are not drawing, we are not adding, we are just naturally filling in. Can you see the difference? Okay, we're not doing anything fancy, just filling in. Tiny little hair-like strokes because you do not want lines, okay? You don't want lines. And so we're just filling in a little at a time. Remember that your brows are sisters. They are not twins, so they are not gonna look the same, you guys. Our brows aren't even created equal on our face. And so just keep that in mind too, that it does not have to be perfection. Now, you can finish that up, or if you don't have any brow loss, you can use our clear brow gel to help shape and keep them in place all day long, okay? And it's just literally just a clear brow gel on a little brush. Love it. All right, the last step for me is always my blush. And so I'm gonna grab our cheek brush. Okay, And I'm going to use Rosy Nude today. And so I'm just going to tap, 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 blow or tap off the excess. And then I'm going to start here and I'm just going to tap my way up. Okay. Tap our way up because you want to create that lifted look. And that's it, my friends. Short of lips, sorry. I almost forgot lips. I'm actually going to use our limited edition Lilac Love. It's one of my favorite colors. And I'm just going to put a little bit of gloss on today. And that's it. That is my everyday go-to look. This is what I wear on a daily basis. And then I jazz it up here and there for different colors or different things that I'm wearing. So if you have questions about makeup, I'm always here. I love to play in color. I love to find the perfect colors for you. And I can even teach the current trends to you if you are interested in that as well. But this is just a very classic makeup look. So I hope you guys had a good time. I hope you learned something, and I will see you next month. Bye, guys.